Hello.
Welcome to my little cooking show. Today we have our special guest, Tessa Violet.
That's me.
That's her.
Daughter of this one.
Daughter of this one. So today we're going to make a babka, which is a yeasted cake. It's going to be a chocolate babka. We've already made the dough and we've let it sit in the refrigerator for the night. And enriched, it's a yeasted dough, and enriched means that it has eggs and butter in it, or it can be enriched by just eggs or just butter, I suppose. But this has eggs and butter in it. And I'm going to put the link to the recipe in the doobly-doo. And this recipe comes from King Arthur's Flour, but you can get a babka recipe from anybody. You see it in the Sweet book by Ottolenghi and Go, and Smitten Kitchen did a little riff on that one. So it's not hard to find, and I'll just put the link to the recipe that I did.
You're good at this. I'll just offer critique of it as we go.
Yes, please.
Excellent.
Okay, so you see this gorgeous dough? Come on over here, Tessa Violet.
All right.
Yeah, put your hands all over it.
What do I do?
We're gonna cut it in half. First of all, we're gonna cut it in half.
With this?
Yeah, with that. So, give it your best shot.
Oy.
Because this dough will make two.
Oh.
And it's about 530 grams of flour, something like that. I didn't write it all the way down. Okay, so should we weigh that to make sure it's precise?
Sure.
Oh, no, I was kidding.
Oh.
But normally I do. Because you're gonna weigh it out to a 15 by 11 rectangle. That'd be kind of interesting. Then you'd have like one huge like croissant. I am not great at rolling dough. I'm not. Dough and I have like sort of a love-hate relationship there. So what happens to me is I either roll it too hard. Frankly, I would love someone to come and teach me how to roll dough. Pie crust dough, whatever. I roll it too hard, and then the edges are too soft, or too thin. This one, which I think most people wouldn't recommend for this particular task, when you're rolling it, you're rolling the middle and it's squeezing out, and the sides will not get super thin because you see it's tapered.
It's a solution.
It's a solution for me. You use what you like to use. Lately, I've sort of gravitated toward this one after I've used this one for so long. But you know, different strokes for different folks, and different these things, rolling pins for different jobs.
Well, you know me. I just like to roll with it.
Okay. So the dough is a little stiff. It just came out of the fridge. Yeah, so you get a little more oomph in that. And when you first start rolling, you don't want to roll that way. Then pick up the dough, turn it around.
Like this?
Well, pick up the dough. Yeah, and then just
Flip it?
Yeah, just turn it around so that, you know, you're getting a different angle of the dough. And it's not sticking. You want to make sure it's not sticking. And you're trying to get a rectangle out of it.
Okay, noted. I'll roll this in a more square way. It's not a joke, I'm just saying it.
You're doing good with that.
Thank you. You know, I'm good with spatial things.
She's very good with spatial things. I am not good with spatial things. Am I good with spatial things?
You're really not.
I'm really not.
Or directions.
Oh, no. I can come out
Well, you're good at following directions.
like how to get to somewhere?
Like any type of directions. You're good with directions, but you're just not good with where was I last. You know.
I'm not good with the you are here. I mean, you can point to you are here on the map, and I'm like, how does that help me? I know where I'm at. I know I'm here. But where is here in relationship to anything around me? It's looking good.
Thanks. Perhaps if someone has any tips for rolling, they could leave those tips in the comment section.
Leave your tips in the comment section.
What do we know about rolling? Well, you know about rolling. I don't
Your
know
rolling's
anything.
looking really good.
Oh, thanks.
You know, she's very deliberate with what she does. She's very slow and deliberate.
Yeah, I really take forever to do everything that's true. You know,
But there's a lot to be gained by that. Like by now I'd be like, and I'd be lifting it up and flapping it around and slapping it. And you're kind of, you're kind of getting there. And you understand that the numbers on the side are the inches. These are actually quite simple to do. I'm always very impressed. Who isn't when you see a babka? So now we're going to make our filling. And the filling for this one consists of 128 chopped dark chocolate. I'm using bittersweet chocolate.
Do you have to count the chips, all 128 of them?
It's 128 grams.
Well,
you. 113 grams of unsalted butter, 28 grams of unsweetened cocoa powder. And what I'm gonna have you do, honey, is whenever you're using cocoa powder or confectioner's sugar, what do you wanna do?
Sieve it.
Well, sift it.
Sift it. Sieve.
Sieve
Both
it.
are actually correct.
Sift. Both are correct. Both are correct. Sieve, sift. Because you want to get rid of those chunks.
Oh, should I show them? Do they know what sieving is?
I think so. But I will say this, that on one of those Facebook things, on the Facebook, I saw one of those things like, oh, are you this old? Do you remember what this thing is? And one of them was a sifter. And I'm like, that's a sifter. I mean, do you have to be super old to have a sifter?
Is it a sifter or is it a sieve?
That person was misinformed. Stop with the sieve.
I think it's a sieve.
This is a sieve.
Sifter?
This is a sieve.
Okay.
This is a sifter.
Okay. I sieved it.
We're gonna melt the butter and the chocolate. You can do this in a microwave. I don't have a microwave. Isn't that nifty? I like having that little burner there. So I'm not going back and forth. And
I give you a BABKA on the head.
a lot of times you like to use a wooden spoon for something like this. A wooden spoon is not only good for stirring things, but it's good for discipline too. In the olden days, a bit of whacking going on. This beautiful wooden spoon is hand carved. I actually saw someone, you know, in the beginning cookbooks, which I love, people talk about their larder or the different objects that they have or use, and one of them recently, I have like 10 million cookbooks, was talking about a wooden spoon. And they did recommend a beautiful hand-carved wooden spoon. I mean, you can have any wooden spoon, but this was a gift and I treasure it. And you really should oil it from time to time. But they're strong. They're real sturdy. Oh, that looks great, honey. So let's add the confectioner's sugar.
Should I turn the heat off?
No. Would you say that's well incorporated?
I would. What do I know?
Okay. Now give that a good whirl.
Pretty.
It's a really glossy color too, so you've done a very nice job there. I want to say a little something about the dough. We rolled this out. Sing it, sister. We rolled this out so perfectly. We rolled this out so perfectly, and then Tessa was rolling this other half of this. This dough, the 530 grams of flour, it makes 2 babkas. And if you're making the wreath, of course, it's the 2 sides of the wreath, or you can just put it in 2 tins. But if you leave your dough sitting out, which I did, you should put the second half, when you cut it, put the other half back in the refrigerator, because it'll be very difficult to roll. You're going to be fighting it. You want to get it back in the refrigerator so it relaxes. So you're not, every time you roll it, it's not like snapping back. And that's the same as when you make croissant. This is such a handy tool. I mean, I'm going to assume most of you have this, but when I first started out, I didn't know what any of this stuff is. So I'm just going to speak to that. The offset spatula is so great when you're going to frost a cake, essential. And great for spreading fillings. So you're only going to use half of this.
Okay. Use all of it.
And you want to use leave a ½ inch border.
Okay. Have you told them about how, you know, you are not a lifetime baker. It's not like I grew up with baked treats. You just started baking like 2 years ago? A year ago?
3 years ago. 3 years ago, actually. 3 years ago, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
So perhaps anyone who's watching this thinks I can't do that.
Oh, certainly you can.
Of course they can. You did it.
Of course you can. I did it. Yeah.
She didn't feed me at all growing up.
I didn't feed her. I didn't cook for her at all. She had to fend for herself. She was an urchin, a street urchin. So, yeah. Actually, how I started cooking, I can't remember if I said this or not in the previous videos, but it was a Christmas time like 3 years ago, and I wanted to make something festive. And I saw Melissa Clark's video for the Flaming Baba rum. And I thought, wow, a cake that you can make, it's yeasted, you can make this cake, you can douse it with liquor it up, and then you set it on fire. And I was like 100% in on that. I mean, I just thought like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I did that, and it had this magic thing.
Isn't this the thing you made it with?
Yeah, yeah. I had no pans. I had no pans. All these pans, like, I just have collected in like 3 years. And for a relatively small amount, even here in New York, the cooking stuff is still relatively cheap. I mean, I would say $14 for a pan is great. I would pay $21, $22 for a pan. But you don't really need to go that much higher. So I forgot why I was on this tangent. Oh yeah, this pan. So I got the bundt pan. That was my first pan. And I was so afraid when I set that cake on fire. I had my Icelandic friend come because, you know, fire and ice. So she was there.
Oy.
I just thought the whole house was gonna go on fire. I was so scared, but it was magic. Maybe that was the magic. Maybe that was it actually. It was like, wow, oh, that was so good. Okay.
Did I do this right?
You did it.
I mean, I did it sort of wrong, but...
You did it great. So put this little, yeah, good. Put this doodad back in there. That's the spatula. You want to brush the far ledge from you with some water, and you can just use your finger.
Wait.
Or a brush.
Oh, wait.
Okay, so you want to roll it, but see, try to make it in a roll. That's a little
okay.
oblong. Yeah.
I can do that. I'm good at a roll.
I'm sure you can. You're on a roll, honey. I beat you to it.
I already said that one.
Oh.
With the rolling pin.
Oh, I know I heard it somewhere.
This is fun.
This will be really fun.
I think this is going to be delicious. Okay, you can't know until you try, though.
I think a lot of nuts.
Am I right, ladies? What'd you call me?
Is that a thing?
What?
You can't know till you try?
Yeah.
Like a naughty thing?
No.
Well, you said, is that right, lady? Am I right, ladies?
It's just because that was funny.
Okay. Well, am I right, ladies? Usually comes with a nert, nert, nert.
Yeah, it's funny to say something that is not at all sexy followed by, am I right, ladies?
Oh. It was ironical.
Yes.
Okay.
Very nice roll.
You want to cut off these ends.
What a log. Am I right, ladies?
That is naughty. We have to take that out.
I like it. It's funny.
Now you're going to cut it in half.
Whoa. Really?
Yeah.
Why a serrated knife?
Are you getting all the way through?
Not yet.
Oh yeah, you want to get all the way through.
Round.
No, don't.
Okay, don't do that, guys. That's wrong. Just do it right the first time.
You said that, not me. So now you see that? She's exposing the dark underbelly of the babka. Oh, look at that.
Many
Isn't
layers.
that gorgeous? It's so pretty, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what you're going to do, you're going to squeeze these together, and then you're going to...
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this really well, and you're going to be proud of me.
I am always proud of you.
You guys, if you're doing this at home, squeeze it up tight like you're braiding hair, because it makes it prettier. I like it.
I like it too, honey. That looks gorgeous. Isn't that beautiful? It really is, and it's so simple, isn't it? And all these, like, many of these, not all of them, some of them are really hard, but in a lot of these beautiful things, it's just a matter of layering, rolling, and cutting. Ooh, delish. Now, actually, when this comes out of the oven, you have a sugar syrup.
Do I put it in this?
Yeah, put it in there. And it's okay if it swirls around, if it snakes around on itself. Really good, honey. That looks beautiful.
Ooh, wow. Wow. It's so big now. Ah, it's a second babka. I'd forgotten.
They're gorgeous. They're so beautiful.
Which one's your favorite? Leave a comment below.
She's trying to get people to comment. Please do. Okay, so immediately,
This one's my favorite.
These need to be brushed with sugar. Where's the
Is there a
brush?
brush?
There you go.
Ooh, fun. Why
Okay.
immediately?
So it soaks it up while it's hot.
So do we have to wait for these to be cold to eat them? This is the most amazing thing in the whole world.
It's super good. It's really good. It's really buttery and nice.
Could you make it with cinnamon instead of chocolate?
Absolutely. Yeah, cinnamon, nuts, whatever.
I think that'd be more my style.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I like it.
Yeah. I mean, chocolate, wow. Okay, we're going to say goodbye now because we're going to say goodbye now.
Okay.
Thanks for stopping by.
Welcome.
Bye.
Enjoy your babkas.
Enjoy your babkas. Babka to you.
Babkas.